All right, so today we have something super special. Probably the best retro of 2021 so far. And it's not from a brand that you'd actually expect. Like everybody's like, what Jordan is he talking about?
The Raging Bull.
No, in fact, it's a shoe that could have been the Air Jordan 1, but isn't. All right, guys, so my name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and review on these bad boys right here, man. This is straight from the 80s, 1984 to be precise. And this is not the first time that they've recrafted these or anything like that, but it might be the best time because they made them look vintage, which some people don't like. I am usually one of those people.
I was gonna say, sometimes that's you.
Yes. This time they actually look pretty cool. Also, my tastes have changed. I will say that when I see, what would you call it, purposefully vintage shoes, Nike was the one that kind of started that a while ago, right? And it looked awful. They just didn't do a good job at it. Nowadays, the process has kind of been, I don't want to call it perfected, but I've seen people on Instagram do it and do it really, really well, where I'm just like, what year are those from? It's when you could do it like that, when they look naturally vintage instead of forcefully vintage. That's what I like. And that's what these are like right here, man. These are fantastic. First off, the box is not an original box, but they printed on it as if it was. So this is a pull-out box, okay? The original had a top lid, I believe. I don't know if the graphic was all on here and everything, but this is a basketball shoe. I like that guy. And for those of you guys that don't know what shoe I'm talking about quite yet, it's these guys right here. This, my friends, is the Adidas Forum 84.
Hi.
Well, yes, there's two versions. There's a low. I used to have a pair of those way back in the day. Remember those?
No.
Okay. Well, I did. They weren't the vintage ones or anything like that, but they've primarily done a good job on retroing this shoe to look like its original counterpart. This version just happens to be one of the best. And just to let you guys know, this review is actually brought to you guys by our WearTesters Discord community. How is that? Well, they actually help fund the channel, and one of our Discord members was talking to me about these guys right here. He was like, bro, you should do a review. I was like, dude, I'm sold out. But guess what? They restocked. The one that they did not restock in, or if they did, they're gone already, is the other original colorway, which is the white and blue ones. And funny enough, this is the one that I thought looked the best. And then when I get them in, I do this every time. I want the other one too. Now, if you wanted to become a WearTesters Discord community member, it's a wonderful place to be. And yes, I'm biased by saying that. We started it, but it really is. Everybody in there is super cool. So if you enjoy talking to people without having to, get into an argument just because we disagree, then you might like the place too. So we have a link down below in the description box that'll head you over to WearTesters.com, where you can literally read what it means to be a WearTesters community member, how much it costs, and what you get out of it. Now, right off the bat, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the retail price. The current retail price is $110. Do you want to take a guess at what the original retail price was back in 1984?
75.
No, it was 100. I know, Jordan Brand really does a number on you, man. You are paying for nothing and you can get this for 110 bucks. And on top of that, one of the coolest parts about this shoe that not a lot of people know is that MJ wore these damn things, man. He got buckets in the white and blue colorway, which is probably why I can't get a pair. He wore those in 1984 while at the Olympic tryouts, essentially, for the USA team. This is prior to them allowing NBA or professional athletes to be Team USA, which he was also a part of, but that was really cool. Different story for a different time. And one of the coolest things that I found out about these shoes while I was doing the deep dive on them is that Adidas's old marketing man, they were mean, dude. Like, they were beastly back then, dude. They had balls. They were beefing with their brother company, which was Puma at the time. Also, I just wanted to say, we did a video called The One That Changed the Game. It was on the Dr. J shoes, and I said that that was the first to feature leather. I was wrong. It was this brand right here, okay? So Converse was the brand, obviously, when the NBA started and all that stuff, and everybody would wear those shoes, and they were canvas-based with vulcanized soles. And then Adidas rolled through with the Adidas Superstar, aka the shell toes. But those were the actual first leather-based basketball shoes. It came from Adidas, which I find very interesting. And again, the original marketing campaign, or at least the splash page ad for these things, was fantastic because it states, and I quote, "The next great basketball shoe from the people that brought you the last great basketball shoe." And then in the first paragraph right underneath the picture, and the one before that, and the one before that. I just think that's hilarious, man. Because again, Puma and Converse were like the big guys back then, you know what I mean? And for those of you guys that don't know the beginning or history of Adidas, Adidas and Puma, they're brothers, the owners of the company, or the original owners. And they started Puma together, and for whatever reason, they started beefing with one another, and so one of them left the company, started Adidas, and then they really started beefing, and that's what this ad is from. And while it's not quite a direct shot at Puma, it's just at the category itself, it's still really cool to see like that, because we really don't get things like that, especially from this brand right here, where they're almost trying to play catch up, just because the public and Nike's marketing campaigns has really blinded a lot of people into thinking that Nike was the shit for for so long when Nike actually stole from them, and that's how Nike became a brand, basically. Not just them. Nike stole Onitsuka Tiger stuff first for running, and then when it came to basketball, they actually jacked the Superstar or Shell Toes bottom, which was the herringbone. Adidas created it, not Nike. They put it on the Nike Blazer, and the upper from the Nike Blazer is actually the Puma Clyde, or whatever you want to call it. They call it like the Puma Suede now, but they stole the upper from that and just kind of redesigned it a little bit and put on a swoosh, and now Nike has a problem with everybody taking their designs. Now, like I was saying before, Adidas basketball started with the shell toe, also known as the Superstar, also known as the Pro model, and that was back in 1969. And while those were super popular at the time, they did release further shoes, one of which being one of their most popular shoes of all time, the Adidas Top 10. But these followed that shoe, and that's what the ad was talking about. The Top 10 was the last greatest basketball shoe, and then these became the new one. Now, what these guys have right here on the bottom, I mean, that's pretty trippy right here, man. I don't know if it plays well or anything like that. I just think it's really interesting that this spiral or radial type of pattern. Again, Adidas did stuff like this first, and nobody talks about it. Everybody's so far up Nike's butt. They don't give credit where it's due, man, and it's not cool. But what we have here, again, just a bunch of circles, solid rubber. I think that this would play really well, and I am not gonna try it. I'm just gonna let you guys know. I'm just not. Now we have a cup sole, which is really cool. I love cup soles. I think that these look awesome. It's aesthetically pleasing to my eye. But what I like about this one right here is that on the medial side, or the arch area, much like the later models like the Continental 80s. Well, that was actually very, very vague. They didn't say when in the 80s those dropped. But what I really like is on the medial side, or the arch area, they actually expose or open up the cup sole, and inside there you can see the tech specs at the time, which was a EVA wedge full length. And not just that, I think that this is super interesting, but you see what's on there?
The netting?
Yeah, you remember where that's from?
Those weird Adidas shoes that dropped a couple years ago.
They were called the Derupt Runner.
There we go.
And those were bad. But that shoe was to pay tribute to shoes like this, that's where that was from. And what I think is really funny is that fast forward to today, who does something like this on their cushion?
Under Armour?
They do, and it's for the same reason. So if you were to read the tech specs of this shoe, it's supposed to give a trampoline-like effect. When it's encased in a cup sole, I don't know how that's supposed to happen, but that's what that netting wrap was supposed to do, is it's supposed to contain the EVA wedge so much that when you put all your weight on it, it expands the EVA, even though EVA doesn't do that. The netting was supposed to bring it all back together and really propel you forward or upward, depending on what type of athlete you were. Marketing, dude, this is awesome. Before I forget, these things came with this little guy right here, and I absolutely love this.
It's so small.
I know, I'm not done opening it yet. Just give me a second. Look at this.
Oh.
I know, that's what I'm talking about, dude. And then they got numbers plus descriptions, like detailed descriptions on what every piece of this shoe offered back in '84. This is exactly what we want. Like sneaker nerds. Hypebeasts don't care about this. They don't even know what these are. But sneaker nerds, real true sneaker nerds, man. Now moving on up, we have a full-on TPU kind of cage right here. Right here. It's almost like the beginning stages of a heel counter, which I think is really cool. And then the upper on these guys is like the glory aspect of these shoes. This is such nice leather. I'm not gonna call it premium. All I'm gonna say is that it's such nice leather, and it's everywhere, man. They even got the nicest, hairiest suede. Like, look at this suede right here, man. That looks like my beard before I comb it. And I like this, dude. They also got a nylon tongue on there, plus their X ankle brace wrap. I mean, it doesn't really do anything, but back in the day, they said that it did. I think that this shoe like this, done like this is how to do a retro. The thing that they're doing, though, that I don't agree with particularly, however, I do understand it, which is very similar to what Nike and Jordan are doing right now, which is there's kind of like a priced tier or category between this model and the ones underneath it, because there are Adidas Forums, and they're usually in production like all the time, you know what I mean? Like I said, I've had these, not a bunch of times, but I've had these before. And again, they're always in kind of production like this, but not like this. And the other ones are pretty basic. They're very, stark white. They do come in the original colorway, which is cool, plus some new ones. But the materials aren't as nice as these or anything like that. The price is cheaper, and it's just not as nice of a shoe. So I don't quite agree when, you have an Air Jordan 1 high that's got like the nice materials. Then you have an Air Jordan 1 mid that's got some ass materials, but you got the same look. Like, I don't really like when brands do that, even though I do understand it, is that they're trying to like make their stuff feel more premium than it is. However, these being 110, at least for retail price, and then the lows being 100, I think that they're pretty affordable and attainable for the most part. So if you wanted the cheaper version, you would save even more money and again, get that look. Now, as far as sizing is concerned, believe it or not, these do fit true to size, and I know that might be surprising for a lot of you newbies with Adidas and stuff, because you'd be like, man, what the f-? Like, Adidas sizing is all over the place, which it is, but not these. The originals actually did fit fairly true to size. The Superstars, be careful with those, man. The shell toes, they fit true to size lengthwise, but them are narrow as, like, I'm not even playing. Like, they're mad narrow.
Are they?
Yes.
I haven't had a pair since.
I bought a pair fairly recently, like it was like a couple years ago, and it was just the simple like white with the black stripes.
Yeah.
And I couldn't wear them. And I've owned that shoe multiple times in different colors over the years, and they've never fit that narrow. So I don't know what the deal was, but that particular pair, I couldn't wear them.
That's weird because you definitely don't have a wide foot or anything. You have like the average man's foot, I feel.
As far as like the shape and stuff,
Yeah.
These though I think are fantastic. What do you think? This looks like your kind of shoe.
It's very much like, because it has the same, not exactly the same.
Oh, like the Continentals.
And I like live for that shoe, so I like these.
I think that Adidas Originals, when the opportunity arises, they really stick the landing for the most part. I think that they just do stuff that's confusing.
Well, to speak on that, the Continental 80, how many different pairs did I have? I don't even know.
That's
but
exactly what I'm saying, is that some of them were some of the greatest quality shoes that we have in this house.
Yeah.
Material wise, and then some of them were some of the worst.
Yes.
And that's the thing where I'm just like, look, dude, you can't do that. And some of them were the same colorway.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the all white ones, like the ones that we got, the first launch of them. And when I bought those, I was so surprised. I was like, you're gonna dig these. And she did. And then I got her another pair of the same colorway, and the material was vinyl. So yeah, so I don't know what's going on over at Adidas, but when they do things right, they do them right.
They do.
I do.
You do.
Everybody do-dos sometimes. Okay, but this one right here, they definitely hit these out of the park. I just think that this is a classic that if you're really into shoes and you're into shoe history, that you might not want to miss. The fun fact for Jordan fans, you know, Adidas almost nabbed the guy twice.
Yeah, that's where he wanted to be.
Yeah, Nike was able to sign him for those first couple of years. He was about to bounce by the time the Air Jordan 3 dropped, and Tinker came in and saved the day with that design. That was Adidas's second chance, and could you imagine the disappointment? So yeah, this right here could have been the Adidas Jordan 1. But anyways, that pretty much takes care of it for these guys. Again, I think that this is an awesome shoe. It's the Adidas Forum 84.
Hi.
Yes. You'll know as soon as you look them up. There's gonna be a high, and there's gonna be a low.
It's on the box.
It is. So if we're being very particular,
Yes.
it's the high. But let us know what you think about these down below in the comment section. Any fun facts about Adidas basketball that you'd like to share, feel free. I'd love to know them. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. And with, I was gonna say, with that being said, I think I said that already, right?
You like to do that multiple times.
I do that.
You do.
All the time. Anyways, y'all have a good one. You were late. Haha.